Have you ever wondered why some older adults can still walk every day, climb stairs, and stay active, yet suddenly lose balance in one unexpected moment? This is one of the most misunderstood problems after 65. Most people think falls happen because the legs become too weak, but in many cases, weakness is not the real issue. The real issue is that the legs respond too slowly when balance is disturbed. That delay may last less than a second, but in that tiny window, everything can change. Many adults over 65 still feel capable. They are not bedridden, they are not fragile. They still move through daily life with independence. And yet, when they trip slightly, turn too quickly, or step on an uneven surface, the body does not correct itself fast enough. By the time the signal travels from the brain to the legs, the moment to recover has already passed. This is why researchers increasingly focus not only on leg strength, but on leg reliability. Leg strength means your muscles can produce force. Leg reliability means your body can use that force instantly, smoothly, and automatically when balance is threatened. That difference is far more important than most people realize. Japanese researchers have paid close attention to this for many years. In aging studies, they noticed that adults who stayed independent longer were not always the strongest. Instead, they were often the most stable in sudden moments. Their legs responded quickly. Their ankles adjusted early. Their bodies corrected small disturbances before they became dangerous. That is the hidden secret. The body does not always fail because it is weak. Sometimes it fails because communication becomes too slow. After 60, this begins to happen quietly. Nerve signals become less efficient. The muscles around the ankles, hips, and core do not coordinate as quickly as they used to. Balance reactions become delayed, and because this change happens gradually, many people do not notice it until a stumble, a wobble, or a near fall wakes them up. This is why someone can still feel strong enough, yet feel strangely unsteady in real life. In Japan, doctors often approach this differently. They do not only ask, "How strong are your legs?" They also ask, "How reliably do your legs respond?" That small difference changes everything. Because if the problem is timing, then the solution is not simply harder exercise. The solution is retraining the response system. That means helping the brain, nerves, joints, and stabilizing muscles communicate better again. Not through punishment, not through exhausting workouts, but through calm, repetitive, precise movement. Japanese longevity systems are built on this idea. Practice slowly, so the body can react better quickly. It sounds almost backward, but it works. Slow practice improves precision. Precision improves response speed. And response speed is what protects you when life becomes unpredictable. This is also why many common workout routines fail older adults. They train strength in straight lines and predictable patterns. But daily life is not predictable. Real life includes missed steps, sudden turns, awkward landings, and moments when the body must recover instantly without thinking. If the nervous system is not trained for that, strength alone is not enough. Another reason this matters so much is fear. After one wobble or one fall, many people start moving more carefully, more stiffly, and more slowly. That hesitation may feel protective, but it often makes movement worse. Fear interrupts natural corrections. It adds tension. It delays response even more. But when the legs become reliable again, confidence begins to return. And when confidence returns, movement becomes smoother and safer. That is the deeper goal here. Not just stronger legs, more trustworthy legs. In this video, we are going to focus on 3 simple Japanese-inspired movements that help retrain how your legs respond when balance is challenged. These are not intense. They do not require equipment. and they can be practiced safely at home in just a few minutes a day. Each movement targets a different part of the body's response loop. One improves ankle reaction. One restores control during standing and sitting. One sharpens balance recovery. And by the end, you may realize that the body is not asking for more force. It is asking for better timing. Before we continue, think about this for a moment. Have you ever felt fine 1 second, then suddenly unstable the next? That brief hesitation is exactly what we are addressing. In the next part, I'll explain the 3 hidden foundations of leg reliability and why Japanese longevity systems train them so differently from ordinary exercise. To understand why these movements work, we first need to understand what Japanese longevity systems are really trying to protect. They are not just protecting muscle, they are protecting response. In Japanese aging research, leg reliability depends on 3 major foundations. If even one of them weakens, balance becomes less trustworthy. If all 3 are trained regularly, the body becomes calmer, steadier, and much more responsive in daily life. The first foundation is ankle responsiveness. Most people think balance starts in the hips or the legs as a whole, but in many situations, balance starts at the ankle. When you step awkwardly, shift your weight suddenly, or land unevenly, the ankle is the first part of the body that tries to correct the disturbance. It acts like an early warning system. If the ankle reacts quickly, the rest of the body has a chance to recover smoothly. If the ankle reacts late, the hips and upper body are forced to make a much larger correction. That is when wobbling becomes panic, and panic becomes falling. This is one reason ankle response is so important after 65. It often declines earlier than people expect. Someone may still walk every day and appear active, yet the small stabilizing muscles around the ankle are no longer reacting with the same speed or precision. The body still has strength, but the first responder is slower. Japanese movement systems address this through simple daily drills, not aggressive training. The goal is to sharpen the signal between the feet, ankles, and brain. These are small movements, but they carry enormous importance. The second foundation is transition control. Many falls do not happen while people are standing still. They happen during transitions. Standing up from a chair, sitting back down, turning after a step, starting to walk after being still. These moments are more demanding than they look. Why? Because the body must coordinate strength, timing, posture, and weight shift all at once. If one part lags behind, instability appears. This is why a person can walk well, yet feel uncertain when rising from a chair or lowering themselves down. Japanese systems place a great deal of importance on these transitions because they happen all day long. Every time you stand up, your body is practicing either confidence or hesitation. When transitions are trained slowly and carefully, the nervous system stays engaged through the entire movement. Over time, this makes daily actions more automatic and less risky. The third foundation is single-leg response. This is something many people do not think about, but daily life constantly places the body on one leg. Each step in walking is technically a brief single-leg balance moment. Climbing stairs, turning, reaching, stepping sideways, getting into bed, even catching yourself after a slip, all require the body to manage weight on one leg for a split second. If the body cannot control that moment, balance breaks down. Japanese balance training does not usually force long, exhausting holds. Instead, it often uses short, repeated exposures to single-leg control. The goal is not to impress anyone. The goal is to teach the body how to enter and exit balance safely and confidently. This reflects a deeper principle in Japanese longevity science. Balance is dynamic. It is not a frozen pose. It is a constant conversation between the brain and the body. Tiny adjustments are happening every second. Healthy movement depends on how well those adjustments are timed, and timing improves through repetition. This is why frequency matters so much. Short daily practice is usually more effective than occasional hard sessions. The nervous system learns through regular signals, not through exhaustion. That is why a few minutes every day can be more powerful than a long workout once a week. There is also a very important emotional side to all of this. When people stop trusting their legs, they stop moving naturally. They become cautious, rigid, and hesitant. But that stiffness actually interferes with the body's natural balance corrections. Fear slows movement. Tension blocks fluidity. Japanese doctors understand that restoring confidence is part of restoring function. When the body feels more reliable, the mind becomes calmer. And when the mind becomes calmer, posture, gait, and balance often improve with it. This is why Japanese systems do not chase soreness or fatigue as proof of progress. Instead, they look for smoother movement, quieter control, and less hesitation. Those are the real signs that the response loop is getting stronger. So now we have the full picture. Leg reliability after 65 depends on three things: ankle responsiveness, transition control, and single leg balance response. In the next part, I'll show you 3 simple movements that directly train those 3 foundations at home. No gym, no equipment, just calm, consistent practice designed to make your legs respond when it matters most. Now, let's turn these ideas into action. The 3 movements in this part are simple, but each one has a very specific purpose. Together, they help rebuild the body's response loop from the ground up. One wakes up the ankles. One restores smooth control during transitions. One retrains balance recovery. The first movement is the slow heel raise. In Japanese longevity systems, this is often treated as a foundational exercise because the ankle is the body's first responder during balance challenges. Stand upright with your feet about hip-width apart. If needed, rest one hand lightly on the wall, a chair, or a countertop for safety. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your spine tall. Now slowly rise onto the balls of your feet. Take 3 full seconds to lift your heels. Pause gently at the top. Then lower your heels back down over 3 more seconds. That slow pace matters. It gives the nervous system time to reconnect with the muscles around the ankle and foot. It teaches the body to respond with control, not rush. Do 10 repetitions. Rest briefly. Then repeat for a second round. If you wobble a little, that is not a bad sign. That is information. It means the system is being challenged and awakened. Over time, the movement should feel quieter, steadier, and more precise. The second movement is the controlled sit to stand. This trains transition control, one of the most important skills for daily independence. Sit on a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Scoot slightly forward so your weight is balanced over your feet. Place your hands lightly on your thighs, or cross them over your chest if that feels safe. Now, lean forward slightly and stand up slowly over 3 seconds. Once you are fully upright, pause briefly. Then lower yourself back down even more slowly, taking about 4 seconds. Do not drop into the chair. Stay engaged until you are fully seated. This movement retrains coordination between the hips, knees, ankles, and trunk. It teaches the body to stay organized during one of the most common and risky daily transitions. Perform 8 to 10 repetitions. Rest. Then do a second round. With practice, this movement often changes more than people expect. Standing up begins to feel smoother. Sitting down feels less uncertain. And many people notice that daily life starts feeling more stable overall. The third movement is the single leg response drill. This one retrains the body's ability to manage balance in real time. Stand near a wall chair, or countertop for safety. Shift your weight onto one leg and gently lift the other foot a few inches off the floor. Hold for 5 to 10 seconds, then lower it back down. Switch sides. Repeat several times on each leg. As this becomes easier, you can add small challenges. Turn your head gently from side to side. Slowly move one arm. Slightly change your gaze. These little changes force the nervous system to adapt and respond, which is exactly what we want. The goal is not to hold forever. The goal is to practice entering and leaving balance calmly and safely. That is a very Japanese principle. Train for reality, not performance. Now let's talk about how to use these movements in everyday life. You do not need a long session. In fact, these exercises often work better when spread throughout the day. You can do heel raises in the morning while brushing your teeth. You can practice sit-to-stands before meals. You can do a few single-leg drills while waiting for water to boil or during television breaks. This approach keeps the nervous system active without fatigue. And that is the real secret. Consistency beats intensity. 5 calm minutes every day can do more for balance reliability than one hard workout per week. The nervous system responds best to repeated, high-quality signals. You may not notice dramatic change overnight. Progress is often quiet. Fewer wobbles, less hesitation, more confidence stepping onto uneven ground, smoother transitions, better posture, a calmer feeling while walking. These are not small changes. These are signs that the system is becoming reliable again. One of the most powerful lessons from Japanese longevity science is that aging does not mean the body stops learning. It means the body needs the right kind of practice. Reliable legs are not built by force alone. They are built by calm repetition, precise timing, and daily trust-building movement. So if you have felt a little less steady lately, a little slower to recover, or a little less confident in your movement, let this be your reminder that change is not final. Your body can still improve. Your legs do not need to become perfect. They need to become dependable. And that is something you can rebuild one calm movement at a time. If this message resonated with you, share in the comments where you are watching from. And if you want more Japanese-inspired science-based videos on mobility, balance, and healthy aging, stay with us. Because after 65, the goal is not just to stay active. It is to stay steady,